It's the Great Minds Project 5.0. And we're talking about Diddy again because this stuff is just getting deep. Let's talk about Diddy again. This stuff is getting deep. This stuff is like, it's so toxic what's going on today. It's so informative, though, and it's so traumatizing to so many that it bears a continuous conversation because we must recognize that something is really, really, really going on today surrounding Diddy. Something is really going on. But more importantly to me is that it's not just Diddy that is going on with, it's so many people around him that's also involved. And they're hiding behind the curtains right now. And I personally believe that the fact that no one is running to Diddy's aid right now to say, no, that ain't his character, that ain't him, I think that speaks volumes. I think that that silence is so loud and so deafening that no one is allowing that to go unnoticed. Because here is a brother who started Bad Boy Records in the early 90s, like 1992, when he was following his mentor, Andre Harrell. Y'all remember that? And so he followed Andre Harrell at the time, and Andre Harrell, he found a lot of young talent at that time too. Yeah, he found a lot of young talent at that time too. But we're not talking about Andre Harrell right now, only as it relates to P. Diddy. So, you know, it's interesting to me how women are coming out the woodwork. I listened to this story today from a girl named Joy Henderson. She used to, I think she used to go with Puff or something. And she talked about, I think she dated Puff or something back in the days. And she said it didn't go well. She said her encounter with Puffy didn't go well. She talked about assault. She talked about SA. She talked about R. She talked about this stuff with P. Diddy, a guy that she once admired and thought was a good guy and all this, that type of stuff. And everything went down the drain after that, right? The whole good guy routine went down the drain. And so now it's amazing to me how someone could get away with this for so long. And that's my question. When did P. Diddy become a monster? If any of these allegations are true, which there are so many, the question then is, when did P. Diddy become a monster? What part of him didn't we see? What part of him didn't we recognize? What part of him did we ignore? What part of him did we not notice? What part of his character got past us? Because I don't think that, from personal experience, I don't think that people become demonic overnight. I don't think that people become monsters overnight. I don't think that. I think that they grow into it over certain things that happen in their life, or certain things that they've done in their life, and then they strike out. And then they become the person that ends up being on the news like he is today. So my question is, when did P. Diddy become a monster? If any of those allegations are true, he is truly a monster. When did he become this monster that everyone is beginning to find out about? Everyone. This is no secret. This man has ruled the news, social media airwaves since the moment that Cassie came out with her allegations. I guess it just took one person to come out and be strong so other people could find the strength in them to come out. You had men, women, and boys who have come out against P. Diddy. And interestingly, no one has come to his aid. No one, not even his, I think it's the A&R guy or one of the executive directors of Bad Boy Records, Harv Pierre. I'm sure y'all remember Harv Pierre. And I'm pretty sure y'all understand why Harv Pierre, if you know anything about Bad Boy, you understand why Harv Pierre haven't come out in defense of his boss. Because it was alleged that Harv Pierre brought a 17-year-old to P. Diddy. And this 17-year-old who was from Detroit, this 17-year-old who was also seen in pictures sitting on P. Diddy's lap in his studio, 17-year-old still in high school, she alleged that P. Diddy and Aaron Hall SA'd her and R'd her. This line, she alleged this. She don't want to be named for obvious reasons. She feared for her life, and she got every reason to fear for her life, and I'm going to tell you why. Everybody, before I even go any further, I'm going to tell you why these women have every reason, and these men who have been involved with Puffy with these freak-off stuff, they have every reason to fear for their life. Because when you have some of P. Diddy's closest of so-called closest of friends passing away, bad things happening to him. I mean, sometimes he's even there and stuff is just happening. Do you all recall, or have you ever heard of a situation where a guy named Tupac was in New York at the studio? Biggie and Puffy and them was upstairs. Tupac go down on the elevator. And y'all heard about the gunshots, right? Have you ever heard the story about the guy named Tupac in Vegas? Have you ever heard the story about Biggie Small going to California, going back to Cali? Have you ever heard the story about Craig Mack? Have you ever heard the story about Black Rob? Have you ever heard the story about Heavy D, who was the man behind P. Diddy, giving him so much advice and insight on how to run that company? Heavy D. I told y'all about Andre Harrell. And y'all know about Kim Porter. So we got 7 people that I just named. No, 6 people that I just named who all have passed away in some type of way, whatever. They're not here to tell the story. But we could just bet that they have a lot of information. They have a lot of things that they could talk about and expose when it comes to P. Diddy. What about the people who are still here, who have not brought themselves to the public's eye yet? I'm talking about people like, y'all remember Farnsworth Bentley? Yeah, Farnsworth Bentley. Remember the allegations that surrounded Farnsworth Bentley about him possibly being, LGBTQ, which, let me say this, I want to say this with a caveat so people understand I have nothing against the LGBTQ community. I have something against any monster that imposes himself in a way of SA or R of any man, woman, or child. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about someone's sexuality. We're talking about violating someone else's sexuality. And so you have this brother, Farnsworth Bentley. Y'all remember he was the butler. He was the guy who was carrying the umbrella over P. Diddy when P. Diddy would walk around. He would do all the little odd and end jobs for P. Diddy, as if he was his boy toy. And that's the very word that attached to Farnsworth Bentley when he was being dehumanized and humiliated in the public's eye by P. Diddy. It was said that he was P. Diddy's boy toy. and he would dance around in the videos. P. Diddy would call him on the phone on the TV show, call him on the phone and talk dirty to this man. And that man stood by P. Diddy, supported P. Diddy, and everything that P. Diddy did. He was right there. Whatever happened to Farnsworth Bentley? Whatever happened to this guy who was P. Diddy's assistant, who was so close to P. Diddy, who would know a whole lot of things about P. Diddy, who was right there on many occasions with P. Diddy, traveling with P. Diddy, at his home with P. Diddy, in the studio with P. Diddy? Where is he at? Why haven't he come out to support P. Diddy, to tell how good of a person P. Diddy is? Why haven't Harve Pierre, P. Diddy's close associate, and the A&R at Bad Boy right now, why haven't he come out in support of P. Diddy? Okay, we're going to go further then. P. Diddy has a homeboy, real close ties with this guy. The guy's name is Jay-Z. They have been spotted many, many occasions in the past. I'm talking about hanging together and photoshopping and everything together. Why haven't he come out to support his buddy, P. Diddy? Somebody tell me why. Why Jay-Z, a man of so much influence, a man who may be able to sway public's opinion, a man who obviously knows the ins and outs of his partner, P. Diddy, a man who grew up with P. Diddy, a man who came up in the industry with P. Diddy, a man who P. Diddy said was like his right hand. Why haven't he come out to support P. Diddy? Why haven't his female friends such as Jennifer Lopez, why don't she come out to support P. Diddy? She used to mess with the guy. Why haven't his friend who took that case for him involuntarily at that nightclub when Jennifer Lopez was there with P. Diddy and Shine was arrested and Shine took the case? Why haven't Shine come out for P. Diddy? After all, Shine was one of the Bad Boy artists, right? Why haven't he come out? Who's going to come to P. Diddy's aid? Tell me that. Who's going to come to his aid? Is anybody going to come to his aid? If not, why? Why don't nobody want to come to a man's aid who didn't do anything wrong? Why don't nobody want to come help save his life when he didn't do anything wrong? These are people that was very close to him. The other closest people to him have died or are no longer here. Let me say that again. Kim Porter, Andre Harrell, Heavy D, Black Rob, Craig Mack, Biggie. They gone already. It's a couple more people who's still living today that personally I would like to hear from. The brother Loon. Loon is a Muslim now. Took his shahada and everything. Loon could come to P. Diddy's aid. Oh yeah, what about Al B. Shore? After all, he's raising Al B. Shore's son. Why would he be raising Al B. Shore's son? And Al B. Shore is still breathing, making a little money. Why would he be raising his son? Okay. Moving right along. That was just a question. Take it how you want it. Now, you have this brother Loon. Loon could speak up for P. Diddy. Where he at? You have the brother G. Depp who just got out of prison. He hasn't come to P. Diddy's aid either. You have Jermaine Dupri, who used to be jam tight with P. Diddy. He haven't come to his aid yet either. You have his little brother, Usher haven't come to his aid yet either. Who's gonna? You got Lil Kim. You got the Locks. Got my man Lil Cease. Who's gonna come to P. Diddy's aid? Only person came out that was part of his record label that said anything about Diddy was my man Mace. And Mace ain't hold Diddy up. Mace ain't hold him up. He ain't had nothing good to say about the guy. He didn't have nothing good to say about the guy. Dame Dash, he came out and said some stuff too. He didn't try to kick the man while he was down, but he ain't had nothing good to say about P. Diddy either. So my question is, when did P. Diddy become this monster? When? Was he always this monster and we just didn't know, we didn't see it? We weren't paying attention? He was that slick? He knew how to change faces right before our eyes? When did P. Diddy become this monster? I'm asking that question. When did P. Diddy become this monster? Because I remember Shine's mother did an interview after Shine went to prison. She said P. Diddy haven't given her nothing but $1,000. Listen, $1,000, and her son took the case for P. Diddy to save P. Diddy's butt. And he didn't take it voluntarily. He just stood 10 toes down and accepted what they was coming at him with. And P. Diddy didn't get him no attorney either. Here's a guy on the case with P. Diddy, caught the case for P. Diddy because of P. Diddy. And P. Diddy didn't even get him an attorney. And then when he went to prison, he didn't even look out for his mother. Speaking of mother, I know y'all heard the story of P. Diddy allegedly slapped his own mother. I know y'all heard that story. That came from his former bodyguard, Gene Deal. Said that P. Diddy allegedly slapped his own mother. So now, getting back to Shine's mother, who said that P. Diddy didn't help her out at all with her son, yet her son was doing time for P. Diddy. All right. After that shooting case, if you all remember, his girlfriend of that time, Jennifer Lopez, left. I wonder why. Maybe it was some people behind the scenes telling Jennifer Lopez, now you know we got the dirt on this guy, and you sitting up there with him. The day that he fall, you gonna fall with him. Somebody said that P. Diddy became a monster when he stopped being Puff Daddy. Well, he changed his name to P. Diddy in like 2001. That was after that case. He wanted to rebrand himself after that case. You know, so that's when Farnsworth Bentley was hired on too, after the case where Shine went to prison for P. Diddy, or Puffy at the time. So he wanted to rebrand himself. So now he called himself P. Diddy. And then again, you know, he changed his name again to call himself Diddy, which was kind of a spinoff of Daddy. All right. So let's get into it, y'all. Listen, you know, we had, it's a couple other people that I'm wondering why I haven't come forward either, because they was jam tight with P. Diddy too, and was said to be at some of his freak off parties. Ray J. Yes, Ray J. Ray J was said to be at some of P. Diddy's freak off parties. Ray J was said to be jam tight with P. Diddy. Why ain't you speaking up for P. Diddy right now then? Because right now, P. Diddy is starving for somebody to come to his aid. But it seems like everybody whom he once associated with, was friends with, not one of them have come to his aid and said, that is not that man's character. Not one person has done that yet. That's an interesting fact. Not one person has come forward to help P. Diddy in his time of peril. Every single case that has come before this, from R. Kelly to Bill Cosby to Michael Jackson to Harvey Weinstein to all these other people, somebody stepped forward and say, I never known him to be like that, and I was around him all the time. In every case, somebody else came forward in defense of their friend, except in P. Diddy's case. I think that speaks volumes. When did Diddy turn monster? Did all of these people already know this and they just never spoke up? They never spoke up, and if they didn't speak up, I wonder why. Because one young lady said, matter of fact, this was Cassie's friend. Cassie's friend talked about she witnessed P. Diddy abuse Cassie, and she said that she was scared to come forward because Puffy was so powerful. She was scared to come forward. And then when you see people, then when you see everybody around a certain guy passing away and stuff happening to him and they not coming back and they going to prison for long periods of time, you got every reason to be scared. You got every reason to be scared, because that tells you that it's something about that individual who is the common denominator of corruption, the common denominator of toxicity, the common denominator of devilism, that you don't want to be around that person. You don't want to rub that person the wrong way. Got every reason to stay away from that individual. So you have the young lady, you know, that this the part that really just got, this the part that I really just jumped on P. Diddy's back about. No, let me take that back. I ain't jump on his back. You might like that. Made me jump on P. Diddy's case is when the little 17-year-old girl said that P. Diddy and Aaron Hall essayed her and R'd her. 17 years old. And I just want y'all to keep in mind that Aaron Hall already said how he met Gloria Velez when she was 16. And what he did to her when she was just 16. So now we have allegations from a 17-year-old, a girl who was 17 years old at the time, high school student, who clearly said that Aaron Hall and P. Diddy ganged her, gang essayed and gang R'd her. And she could be seen in a picture. Her face is covered up, her face is blurred out, but she can be seen in pictures sitting on Diddy's lap. How do you explain that? How do you explain having a 17-year-old girl, and if you flew her out to your studio and you wanted to work with her as an artist, then I'm pretty sure you want to know her age. I'm pretty sure you want to know her age before you just work with her. I'm pretty sure you want to know her background, something about her background. Where you from? How old are you? When you start singing, rapping, dancing? When? These are just common questions that anyone would ask, especially someone who has a vested interest in building their record label. No, right now it ain't where the parents are. I agree with you, but right now we ain't talking about where the parents are. We talking about where P. Diddy's penis was, where P. Diddy's hands was, where P. Diddy's thoughts was, where P. Diddy and his friends were. On on underage young girls and underage young boys. And I'm careful to say that because I don't want anyone to think that I'm talking about his sexuality because he engaged in LGBTQ type behavior. I'm not talking about that. That's a whole different subject for somebody else to talk about because I'm never going to go against whatever a person deems necessary for them to please them. I may not agree with it. Hey, that's just me. But I'm never going to be attacking nobody like that. What I'm attacking is this man who's attacking a 17-year-old, attacking 15-year-olds, attacking 14-year-olds. That's what I'm talking about. When did this man become a monster like this? When did he become a monster like this? Another person who he was said to freak off with, who may have a few answers, who didn't come to his aid, is Dwight Howard. Another guy who has been spotted at P. Diddy's freak parties. The reason that I'm bringing up these type of people is because I'm wondering, why is no one coming to P. Diddy's aid? This man is fighting for his life right now. He's fighting for his life right now. He needs a breath of fresh air in his life right now. And there's so many so-called friends and associates whom he rubbed elbows with and did freak-offs with and things like that. But none of them are coming to his aid. None of them are breathing a little breath of life into him to keep him hopeful. Why? Is he that much of a monster? You know. And then you had Ray J was threatening Fab at one point. You know, Ray J was threatening Fab. I only bring up that to say this here. Ray J was said to be one of P. Diddy's young toys as well. I don't know how true it is, and I'm just stating what has been said. Because they say if you want to know a man's character, watch the company he keep. So now when you get Ray J threatening Fab, and then Ray J telling Fab on an interview on the Breakfast Club, he told Fab this year. He said he wanted to do something to Fab. He threatened him. I'm gonna do this to you, and he said that if you keep talking, I'm gonna send one of my mans over to come argue. That's what he said. He gonna send one of his mans over to come Fab. So this means that you hang around people who engage in arguing other men. That means, because he told Fabulous, he said, if you keep saying blah, 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 I'm going to punch you in your mouth when I see you, and I'm going to send my mans and them at you, my man, and I'm going to have my man bend you over and F you. He going to argue. That's what Ray J said about Fab. This means Ray J hangs around people who engages in that type of act. And at this particular hour, when he was saying these type of things, the person that he hung around at the time was P. Diddy. Now, I'm going to show you a connection. So now, next thing you know, P. Diddy and Fabulous, along with the Locks, was on the Breakfast Club. Y'all remember that, right? And do y'all remember what P. Diddy said to Fabulous? I said this on a couple of my other episodes. Do y'all remember what P. Diddy said to Fabulous? First of all, P. Diddy was calling guys daddy and stuff on the show. It's my daddy. But he asked Fabulous, how was your birthday? Before I even go there, let me say that P. Diddy admitted that he was with Ray J at the time. That he was with Ray J at the time. I think they was in Vegas, Miami, wherever they was. They was together at the time. He admitted on the show that him and Ray J were together at the time at some place. Now, going back to Ray J talking about he would have one of his mans rape Fabulous, which means that Ray J had to be around people who engage in this type of conduct. And come to find out, the person that he was around, by his own admission, was P. Diddy. Now, P. Diddy now is on the Breakfast Club show, same place where Ray J called in and said that he would have his mans are Fabulous. He's on the same radio breakfast show at the time, and P. Diddy said this here. He said that, yes, he was with Fabulous at the time. He was familiar with this stuff. He was with Fabulous. I mean, he was with, my fault. He was with Ray J at the time, and he's familiar with this stuff. He was with Ray J. Now, while on the show, P. Diddy is calling people daddy. Drink Champs, rather. My fault. I said Breakfast Club. Drink Champs with Nori, right? Because he kept calling Nori daddy. He told Nori, he said, I like the daddy. Hey, daddy, I love to see you scratch and crawl. That's what he kept telling Noriega. So, and I said Drink Champs. Excuse me, I said Breakfast Club. I meant Drink Champs. So now, that's where Ray J is called in to Drink Champs, and he threatening Fabulous and all this type of stuff. Tomorrow he'll have his mans come, are Fabulous. Fabulous, you know. So now P. Diddy, Puffy, Diddy, whatever the hell he called himself. Now he's on the show, and Jadakiss on the show, and he's calling Nori daddy. Daddy, I like to see you scratch and crawl. That's what he telling. And he got this old sexualized look on his face. Please, anybody that's watching me, first of all, I ask that y'all share out my live. That's number one. I ask that y'all share this out. But second, I ask that y'all please go back and look at the Drink Champs episode where P. Diddy was on there talking to Fab. Please go back and you tell me the look on P. Diddy's face wasn't one of lust. Wasn't one of sadism. Because I had to go back and look at this a few times, and I was like, wow, his facial expression was one of those facial expressions of the guy that you see when you walking with your girl, your little sister, your daughter, your mother, your grandmother, your little brother. He had that look on his face, like he had that look, that creepy look on his face. So he asked, P. Diddy asked Fabulous, this is what he asked him. Now keep in mind, P. Diddy just admitted that he was with Ray J. Him and Ray J was hanging out somewhere. He familiar with the situation between Ray J and Fabulous. Ray J had already been on the show and said what he's going to have his mans sexually do to Fabulous, violate Fabulous. So now Diddy say to Fabulous, he said, do you miss me? First he said, how was your birthday party? Fabulous said, you know, it's all right. I was with my daughter. You know, I was just doing some family stuff. Next thing you know, Diddy said, did you miss me? And he sat back in his chair like this. That's some creepy stuff, man. That's some creepy stuff, man. And I'm asking anybody to go back to that episode and look at Fabulous' face when P. Diddy was asking him these questions. Go back to that episode and look at Fabulous' face, and you tell me Fabulous wasn't totally uncomfortable with this individual. It's not just me saying this. I watched this episode so many times because I wanted to look at this and see was it something I was missing. And lo and behold, it was something I was missing. I missed the whole look on P. Diddy's face. I missed the look on P. Diddy's face when he was calling Nori daddy. I missed the whole look on P. Diddy's face when he was asking Fabulous about his birthday party. And then he kept on prying. And I want y'all to go back at this episode and look at Fabulous' face. The episode is P. Diddy on Drink Champs. The episode is P. Diddy on, all you got to do is go to YouTube and look up P. Diddy on Drink Champs. And then this is what he did to Fabulous. This was more creepy. This was some real predator type stuff. This was some real predator intimidation type stuff here. This is what he did. He said, after he asked him how did his birthday go, what did he do for his birthday, and Fabulous said he spent time with his kids, and he did family stuff, right? And P. Diddy proud and say, "Did you miss me? Did you miss me?" So Fabulous do not even answer the question. Rightfully so. He don't answer the question. P. Diddy became more aggressive. He said, "When you gonna party with me? When you gonna party with me?" Fab said, "I already been done that already." You know what I'm saying? He said, "No, you didn't. No, you didn't." See, because Fabulous probably partied with Puffy. Fabulous probably partied with Puffy before Puffy became Diddy. So Fabulous is saying, we already partied, bro. And that's what somebody just reminded me. That's what P. Diddy said to Fabulous. He said, "But we never party alone." Now, why would P. Diddy be cutting into Fabulous about him and Fabulous partying together alone? Come on, man. Come on, man. What's going on, man? I honestly couldn't believe that I was just hearing it. That's why I had to go back and look at this episode so many times, because I was wondering what I was really missing. I was really wondering what I was really missing about P. Diddy. And this man had been preying on brothers and sisters for the longest. He'd been preying on brothers and sisters for the longest. Must I remind y'all that he took Usher to the strip club at 14? Must I remind y'all that Usher said that he partied with P. Diddy. He said he just wanted to experience the life, right? And he said he's seen a whole lot of stuff that he shouldn't have never have seen. He said he's seen a whole lot of stuff that he never should have seen. That's what Usher said. These are not my words. Go look at the interview. Usher interview concerning Puffy. Go look up the interview. Usher said that he went with Diddy and he seen things that he should not have seen. Keep in mind, Usher was 14 or 15 years old at the time. And Diddy took him to strip clubs and places like that. Also, he lived with Diddy too. I forgot about that. He actually lived with Diddy. Kind of like, I'm gonna get to the next person after this. But now Usher admitted that this is sad to me. This is sad to me because somebody said how parents get their kids to people just to make them famous. I did not want to even bring parents into this, right? Because I just wanted to keep the focus on Diddy, right? But I agree with Victoria Hooks. I agree with you because I'm going to say this here. If the parents didn't give them over to Diddy, Diddy would have never been able to do to these children what he's been doing. If the parents did not give them children over to Diddy, what's the little boy named Justin Bieber? Come on, man. Come on, man. At what point does the parent realize that I'm giving my son or my daughter over to a man that I really don't know? I don't care how famous he is, because history has shown that no matter the fame or the fortune, children have been the victims on too many occasions. by the rich, by the powerful, by the famous. So I agree. The parents, I agree. But it's so hurtful because you have this guy Diddy. His behavior, people talk about Kanye, people talk about other people who the industry blackballed, and now they say they're crazy, they're out their mind. But sociopathic behavior goes unchecked every single day in the industry. Narcissistic behavior goes unchecked every day in the industry. Womenizing and predatory womenizing behavior goes on unchecked in the industry every day. It went unchecked with Cassie. That was some predator behavior right there. It went on unchecked with Cassie. She was 17 years old. She was 17 years old. Now she's like 37. She suffered all types of abuse according to her. She was beaten on, psychologically tortured. She was forced into having sexual relations with multiple men. Diddy put her in those situations. And through mind control, he had her engaged in sexual acts when she was just a little girl with multiple people. And as I was saying to my girlfriend, we was talking about that, and I said, what type of person would I be if you are my girlfriend, but yet I am giving you to multiple men, whether it's one or many men, to engage in sexual relations with? That means that you're really not my girlfriend. I don't respect or honor you because no man is going to put his woman in that type of situation. No man is going to put his woman in that type of situation. No man is going to put his sister in that type of situation. No righteous and intelligent man in power or without any type of social or financial power is going to put a woman at all in that type of situation. That don't happen like that. You have to be mentally unstable yourself to even conceptualize putting someone in that type of situation. And I think that the evidence is clearly stacking and mounting against P. Diddy to the point that he's probably about to be brought in on some charges or something. Not lawsuits. I'm talking about charges. He's probably about to be brought in on some charges because there are so many people out here whom he's encountered. And, just recently he came out and he talked about enough is enough. All these despicable allegations about him are untrue. He would never do this type of stuff. People are just trying to come for a money grab, the famous character, do this, and that. Right. Okay. So you telling me that the girl that you used to go with for 5 years, you went with this girl for 5 years, and she said in 2019 that you was beating the hell out of her. Said she would have to cover her face up and you would just beat the side of her head, and then you would stomp on her stomach real hard while she laying on her back on the floor, trying to protect herself from further abuse. And then you even had some of your own people who verified that situation took place. So none of this stuff ever happened. You got Cassie's friend saying she witnessed this stuff. Not all of it, but she says she witnessed some stuff. That's right. The boys from B2K. What is that? Omarion and them talked about P. Diddy was doing some creepy stuff. But their allegations just went away with their careers because they was talking about the powerful. I just seen a picture today, and I forgot about this too. I seen a picture today of Kimora Lee Simmons and P. Diddy. Kimora Lee Simmons and P. Diddy. What's the connection? Y'all heard about Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee Simmons. Kimora Lee Simmons was 15 years old when Russell Simmons met her. She became a model. Now, I don't know if she just has this attraction to powerful men. I'm not saying that her and P. Diddy was in a relationship. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the attraction to powerful men with certain childish ways, abusive, childish ways. Because her and Puffy is close. Her and Puffy is close. Russell was messing with her when she was 15. P. Diddy was messing with Cassie at 17, allegedly engaged in the S.A.R. of a young lady at the age of 17, when he and Aaron Hall subjected that young lady to a violation of her humanity and her body at the age of 17. And that's just one or two incidents. That's just one or two incidents. Let me clear some up also about Kimora Lee Simmons. Her and P. Diddy was cool. They was cool because P. Diddy stuff used to be in a fashion show, like her stuff was Baby Fat and all that other stuff. And whatever happened from there happened. Everything went sour, but they once were. And now they are no longer. Why? That's the question. Why? Why does a man, and I'm gonna put it out there because I have no I pull no punches. I'm gonna tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. P. Diddy, he's not a bad looking brother at all. He's not a bad looking brother at all. You know, his eyes are kind of close into his forehead, but he's not a bad looking brother at all. Why is all of the women who have come in contact with P. Diddy, why do none of them stay in contact with him? Why are none of them his friends anymore? None of them. Name a female whom P. Diddy has come in contact with, has been rumored to date, go out with, whatever, that's still cool after they parted ways, still cool with Diddy. I'm waiting. Then you have this young girl, Young Miami. She was the girl who was going back and forth with P. Diddy's girlfriend at the time of 5 years. They was going back and forth, beefing on social media. And Young Miami would call the girl a B and say she just wants some attention and all that stuff. And then her and Diddy, the girl ended up posting a picture of her and Diddy laying down and Diddy kissing her on the cheek. Young Miami responded to that. She responded to that on social media, and they beefing on social media over P. Diddy. She's the only one after a breakup stuck with Diddy, was cool with Diddy, still talk to Diddy. But hey, right now, I don't hear her voice at all. Yet her and Diddy was said to be in a relationship. Why is not Young Miami coming to his aid? I guess because she young too. But anyway, I think it's a story being written right out in front of our eyes about this character Diddy. It's like the rise and fall of a bad boy. The rise and fall of a bad boy. Ask yourself a question. Of all artists who have come in contact or come through Bad Boy, where are they now? Where are they now? You got the Locks. They still alive. Jadakiss, that's my guy. Real talk, that's my guy. Met him, hung out with him, kicked it with him, chopped it up with him. That's my guy. You got Mace. You got Shine. You got Loon. You got G-Dep. You got Faith Evans. You got Lil Kim. You got Lil Cease. You got Danity Kane. You got Day 26. You got my man, what's his name? Elliot Ness. He's still out here. Babs the Bunny, she's still out here. Every single artist that came through or was associated with Bad Boy, none of them, not one of them, have come to P. Diddy's aid. The silence is so loud. The silence is so loud. I think that what's about to happen right now is, and I don't wish this upon nobody, but the devil has to receive his just due. And the devil shows up in us when we step outside of who we are. And when that happens, the wrath comes swinging down. And when the wrath comes swinging down, the devil must pay. That's no matter who the devil is. You got to pay. And so in this instance, the devil is none other than, or acting on behalf of no one else but in the body of the brother P. Diddy. And I say that wholeheartedly, that the devil has incarnated his body. This is why I entitled this show, When Did P. Diddy Turn Monster? Because there had to be a time when he was a cool, good guy to be around. There had to be a time when he was a cool, good guy to work up under, to work around. There had to be a time when he was a good guy to be in whatever type of relationship he was in with someone. There had to be a time. But there came a time when all of that good stuff about him went out the window. All of that good stuff about him went out the window. And he began to show his hand in such a way that there was claws on his hands. His eyes were bloodshot red. There was horns coming out of his head. There was fire coming out of his mouth. Because he was operating on behalf of the devil. He was preying on young children. He was preying on young children. And I think that there's going to be an allegation come out about him doing this to some young boys in the 90s. I think the allegations are going to come out. B2K already said he was doing some creepy type stuff that weirded them out. And it wasn't pleasant. They had nothing good to say about him. And they were a young boy band. It's going to be allegations come out. And it's crazy that the public is not even bracing ourselves for it. We just waiting for it because we know it's coming out. We know the character that we're looking at is the very character that has been described by so many people over so many years about these celebrities in power. We could talk about celebrities from Donald Trump, the allegations of Monster Dome, Bill Clinton, the allegations of Monster Dome, R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson. And I'm not saying any of them did any of the things. I'm saying we're familiar with how the allegations come out. We're familiar that when the allegations are at the top of the hill, like a truck on ice with no brakes, everything comes flying down. We're familiar with that. So it's not going to be any surprise to us when these other allegations come out. It's not going to even be a surprise to us. It's not going to even be a surprise to us. I see you talking about Bill Clinton from Arkansas. It's not going to even be a surprise to us when other people's name comes into play to throw us off of the scent of P-Diddy. That's not to say that them other people wasn't doing the very stuff that's about to come out about them. And y'all know some of these big name people that I'm talking about. Big names that I'm talking about. Yes. The allegations are coming out about them too. It's already in the working. It's already in the working. It's like when you step on a farm, you expect to smell horse manure, cow manure, or something. That's how the industry is. We know what we're smelling because we know it's like a farm. Everybody full of it. Everybody full of it. And people will eat each other's feces in order to get to that level of success that they're trying to get to. They don't mind walking in it. They don't mind doing nothing with it. Like Fear Factor. They don't mind it. Because we've been taught and trained to believe that if we got to go through this to get to wherever we're trying to go, we'll do it. These people scratch each other back. They scratch each other back, even in the face of SA and R allegations. They scratch each other back. They hide this stuff. They won't come out. They won't come out. You got P. Diddy, won't nobody come to his aid right now. Won't nobody come to P. Diddy's aid right now, and it's a reason. Just like I'm talking about it, it's so many other people talking about this very same thing who made this very observation that nobody is coming to P. Diddy's aid right now. And why? I ask that y'all share my post out. Share out my live. Share out my live. Please, thank you. Nobody is coming to P. Diddy's aid right now for a reason. Quiet as kept, his mama ain't even coming to his aid. Come on, man. His mother ain't even coming to his aid. Maybe because she don't even want to end up saying the wrong thing and then it coming back to haunt her. See, my mother was tried and true. She knew how to make up a story on a dime. And she knew how to make the story tie into sounding as truthful as possible. His mother haven't even touched the microphone of an interview yet. His children, the grown ones, haven't even touched the microphone yet. What does that say? What is that telling us, y'all? Somebody help me out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody tell me what that means. What does that mean that when none of your friends, so-called friends, none of them, not even your boy toys, y'all know the older gentleman who funded Bad Boy, who helped fund Revolt TV, that Puffy has now stepped down from. And now he's in a dispute with Ciroc, which he's been in dispute, which they about to get rid of him off there too. And then you got his Hulu show been canceled. Who's going to come to his aid? I'm waiting. Say the chicken's coming home to roost. That's what's happening. See, because you can only be a bad boy for so long. You can only be a bad boy for so long. A bad boy for so long. What happens when you've been a bad boy for too long? You have to be stopped. You have to be chastised. You have to be disciplined. No one stopped you. No one chastised you. No one disciplined you. And therefore, the courage of a young woman had to come stop you. The courage of a young woman had to expose you. The courage of a young woman had to bring awareness to who you really are. The courage of a young woman whom alleged that P-Diddy brutalized her. He brutalized her. She said he brutalized her. She didn't say he was any type of nice guy. She didn't say that Diddy, sure, every relationship, a woman or a man is going to say it was good at first. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that, so we don't even want that to get mixed up in the conversation. But Cassie never once said anything good about P. Diddy after the assaults and the SAN and iron took place. Also, she did tell stories of him and his friends drugging her drinks and feeding her illicit drugs to get her high, to get her delusional, to get her delirious, so then they could take advantage of her. I just thought of something. There's another guy who P. Diddy said is like his brother. He said, "This is my brother." He said it too. Rick Ross. Where he at? Where's Rick Ross at when his friend need him? Another guy I just thought about. Where's French Montana at when his friend need him? That's not saying nothing bad about those guys. I'm just saying that it's something about this guy, P. Diddy, that's causing them just to stay away. That's causing them just to stay away. It's something about P. Diddy that's causing his close brother, Rick Ross, to stay away. Oh yeah, his close brother Pharrell, what about him? Stay away. His close brother, Jay-Z, to stay away. Nobody want to get close to this fire. His member TD Jakes. Why ain't TD Jakes coming to his aid? Or maybe I shouldn't even ask that question, because we kind of can surmise why TD Jakes, he trying to stay the hell away from that fire right there. Because the fire done already burnt this coattail. Fire done already burnt this coattail. So he's saying, no, 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 no. Not like Matumbo used to do this. No, 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 no. That's what P-Diddy's friends are doing right now. No, 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 no. You won't get me caught up in that. Won't get me lying on your character. And then it come back on me. And then I'll be the one being indicted. When did P-Diddy turn into this monster, y'all? Was he always this monster? I'm just asking the question. Was he always this monster? Because somebody said he's always been this monster. Something had to always. Everybody's saying, yes, he always been like this. Everybody's saying he's always been like this. And the interesting thing is that, all right, I tell you what. He's always been like this. My next question then. Oh, somebody said the next person to take that fall is Jay-Z. I've been talking about that. Jay-Z head is on the chopping block. Jay-Z getting his attorneys together right now. Jay-Z hiding his money right now. Jay-Z getting all of his assets solidified right now somewhere, because he know what's about to happen to him with Foxy Brown, Gloria Velez, Aaliyah. Dame Dash already put Jay-Z on blast about while Dame Dash was going with Aaliyah. I think she was of age at the time. She was of age. Jay-Z was going behind his back already. So we already know Jay-Z definitely on the chop block. Rick Ross is on the chopping block too, you know. French Montana, he on the chopping block too, even though he ain't got that type of money, but he on the chopping block too. French Montana, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, they on the chopping block. And the craziest thing about being on the chopping block is then you see who's really from these streets that they brag about so much. See who gonna stay 10 toes down and keep their mouth shut. So I want to see how this thing unfolds, because P. Diddy ain't going down by himself. He ain't going down by himself, because he know that he didn't do this by himself. See, it's a difference. It's a difference if, and I don't agree with either way. Let me clarify that. I don't agree with either way, but it's a difference when you've been doing this by yourself, but you know other people been doing it and ain't nobody saying nothing about them. It's a difference between that type of situation and this type of situation, to where people was doing it with P. Diddy. Because those are the people now. It's the one that talks the most is the one that gets the best deal. The one that talks first is the one that gets the first deal. Whoever talks first get the best deal. So now, believe me, when are people going to see that when somebody screws up in the Illuminati, something bad's going to happen? It happens every single time. I agree with you. It happens every single time. When they mess up, because it's like this. It's like this. It's like if you was in an organization and you know that all of y'all, for example, I grew up selling drugs, and there was rules to the game. We grew up under these certain guys that actually had written rules. Like Biggie talk about the 10 crack commandments, they got that from Detroit. We had 10 crack commandments. We had actual rules that you must follow, that you can only go on break for this long. You got to work this many hours. You had a quota to reach. Don't open the door unless such and such. We closed at this, whatever. We had a lot of rules. Now, say for instance, in that situation where I sold drugs and was in the streets under certain rules, right? And I do something in violation of those rules. Y'all remember American Gangster? When the guy, Denzel Washington brother, got caught with the work in the car. He got caught with the work in the car. Y'all remember that? The police found the work in the trunk. And then Denzel Washington beat them all in his face. He said, no, he got to do that himself. See, because you broke the rules. So when you break the rules in Hollywood with that secret society that you are a part of, when you break the rules or you are exposed, see, breaking the rules right now in this situation was, you shouldn't have been beating on that girl. Had you not been beating on that girl, everything would have been fine and dandy. You can continue with your freak offs. You can continue to engage in your grooming practices. All these things would have never come out had you not beat on that girl, had you not violated a covenant. Had you not violated a covenant, none of this would have come out. And therefore, since you did violate that covenant, you have to fend for yourself. We throwing you out to the sharks. Hope you know how to swim. Hope you know how to swim. And in so many cases, people don't know how to swim, so they look for life jackets. And then they try to use other people as their life jacket. They try to use other people as their life jacket because now they realize what it means to be exposed. You've been exposed, P-Diddy. You've been exposed, and none of your so-called friends are coming to your aid. Don't even look out the window for them. Don't wait at the door because they're not coming. First of all, when you in that type of environment, and I'm telling you firsthand experience from this microcosm of an environment that I lived in that particular world, everyone is on notice not to come to your aid. Everyone is on notice not to come to your aid unless they suffer some of your fate. Everyone is placed on notice. Because just like you can rise and fall quickly, we can send people along with you to rise and fall with you if they try to come to your aid when they know that you violated a sacred covenant. People do this today. It's all day. You violated a sacred covenant, and therefore you must suffer the consequences of your wrongdoing. You're not exempt, you're not excused. You will be punished accordingly. You will be ostracized accordingly. You will be abandoned accordingly. You will be dealt with accordingly, disciplined accordingly. You will suffer all of the ramifications and consequences and repercussions of your actions. That's how it goes. As someone said, every time someone messes up who's part of the Illuminati, every time one of them mess up, it's hell to tell the captain. There's going to be consequences and repercussions. And oftentimes those consequences and repercussions are fatal. That's just a known fact. History has shown that there's consequences and repercussions for all of our actions. This is life. This is life. You don't have to be tied to some mob, some Illuminati, some organization, some group. This is called karma. This is just karma. I'm just going to use that term so people don't try to take my words and take them in other places. I want to be plain and simple. We're talking about karma. His best man, Jamie Foxx, huh? Where he at? Okay. So The karma comes back where it belongs. It's like a boomerang. If you throw the boomerang, it comes back to you or the people around you. But best believe it's coming back your way. And it's going to get back to someone close to you, if not you. You are going to reap what you sow. And that's life. That's karma. We deal with it every single day. You can't shy away from it. There's no time out. Once you let that boomerang go, there's no time out. There's no time out. You have to suffer the consequences of that comeback. You have to suffer the consequences of the comeback. And the comeback, it may not come back when you want it to, when you expect it to. It may just come back when you least expect it. When you least expect it, that's when the karma come back for you. And I believe that P-Diddy, this was the most least expected time that he could expect karma to come back. When he's right there, he's the billionaire status. He's all the way up there. He's rubbing elbows with big names who think they're above the law. He think he above the law. He feel like, no, I can't nobody. I'm bad boy for life. Bad boy for life. Can't nobody touch me. I know too many people. Can't nobody touch me. I know too many people. I am above the law. I'm a bad boy. I founded Bad Boy Records. I know Clive Davis. I know these other billionaires. I've been at their houses. I had sex with them. Because that's what he's really saying. Because once people know that Clive Davis is bisexual, and a guy like P. Diddy say, I've been to his house, I hung out with him, we all know what that means. Come on, you had sex with him. Okay, so what? No different than YK Osiris going to Jamaica with Diddy, eating grapes and fruit all on the water, taking a picture of Diddy with his shirt off, and then he took a picture with his shirt off. And then when he was asked, was he out in Jamaica with Diddy, he just laughed it off and said, no, he was with a girl. But you was there the same exact time, huh? Right. So we able to surmise as a community of people, we able to surmise the truth from error sometime. Not all the time, but sometime. And this is one of those sometimes that we able to surmise the truth from error. Because we know about Clive Davis. We know about, what is the guy named Burkle? We know about the other guy named Ono or something like that. Come on. We know about Diddy and his sexual ways. Only because he told us this. He told us this. When somebody tells you who they are, believe them. He told us this. He sat right there on Drink Champs, as I said before, and he called Noriega daddy. Kept calling him daddy. Said, daddy, I like it when you scratch and crawl. Kept on imposing himself on Fabulous. Right there on Drink Champs, on right there in front of everybody. He kept imposing himself sexually, sexual innuendos, telling Fabulous, asking Fabulous, did he miss him? Asking Fabulous why he don't want to party with him. Asking Fabulous, why don't you want to party just me and you together alone? Why would he ask another man something like that? On TV. He asked this man, I mean, I'm telling you, I had to review this episode so many times because I started asking myself, what is it that I missed? Did I miss something? He asked Fabulous, did Fabulous miss him? Fabulous, first he asked Fabulous, how did his birthday go? Fabulous say, yeah, I spent time with my daughter. spend time with my family. I don't do much. I just like to, share family time. And P. Diddy said, well, you never party with me. Fabulous said, yeah, I already partied with you, bro. He probably partied with Puffy, not Diddy. And so he said, no, I want to party with you together, just me and you alone. Diddy told me, you miss me? And then he sat back in his chair on some creepy stuff. You miss me? Do another man miss you? Do another man miss you? Man, who the hell do you think you are? Asking, do a man miss you? And then I implore people to please go to the interview and just look at Fabulous' face when P. Diddy was asking him this. Look at the discomfort in Fabulous' face. He was so uncomfortable. Diddy talking about, do you miss me? Talking about he want to party with Fabulous, just together, him and Fabulous alone. Man, come on. Man, this guy been on some predatorial stuff for too long, man. The children been in danger around P. Diddy. They've been in danger around P. Diddy. Yeah, Fab looked scared. I don't think he was scared, but he definitely looked scared. The children been in danger around Diddy. And then imagine this here. Imagine this here. I just want y'all to use your imagination. So here we have this guy, Diddy, who engaged in whatever against YK Osiris and the little brother, Brashear Gray from Empire. They engaged in whatever they did with these young men. So the young men now know that Diddy and whoever was part of this little clique that he was with are into SAing and R'ing boys and little girls or whoever. They know this now, right? Yeah, Justin Bieber was nervous, shaking like a leaf in the wintertime. So imagine these little boys knowing what happened to them. But when they look around, all they see is all of P. Diddy's friends. They could only imagine that his friends are a part of the same thing. So who could they go tell? What can they do? The fear set in. The fear for their life set in. The fear sets in because there's no one to run to. There's no one to tell because everybody is a part of this. It's like the movies. When the lady or the guy who's in this town and the people from the side of the mountains and all that stuff, they harming people and taking eating people and taking their lives and stuff. And they want to run to the sheriff and he's a part of it. So now after they escape the sheriff, who else do they run to? Nobody, because everybody is a part of it. So they scared. And they have every right to be scared because there's almost no one to run to when you have been essayed or R'd by powerful people. There's almost no one to run to because no one is going to believe you. That's why no one believed Y2K. That's why no one believed the girl from Danity Kane. That's why no one even believed Cassie. No one believed Joy Henderson, Neal. No one believed her when she talked about P. Diddy essayed her and R'd her after a date. No one believed any of these people whom came out way before Cassie. No one believed them. And that's what's scary. That's what scares them the most. That's what makes them hide behind their shame, their fear. Because they're scared that no one is going to believe them. They're scared that what happened to them is happening to so many around them that it's like I can't even cry to nobody. I can't even talk to nobody. You see another little girl in the house, you don't even want to see, you're scared to even talk to her because you know what happened to you. You see another little boy in the house, you don't even want to say anything to him because you're so ashamed and scared of what happened to you. And you don't even want it to appear like you all are cooking up on a plan to escape this abuser. You don't even want to make it look like that. Sherry Dennis. I wonder why Fatima Robinson stopped working with P-Diddy too. She was a choreographer. Actually, she's the choreographer now on The Color Purple. And but this type of stuff, men, women, and children have every reason to fear for their lives when they're dealing with these type of powerful individuals. Because again, I mean, the list goes on from people who come up missing. You don't hear from them no more. They go to jail. They end up meeting their demise. All types of stuff. End up catching cancers and stuff. I mean, you got Kim Porter. You got Andre Harrell. You got Heavy D. You got Black Rob. You got Craig Mack. You got Biggie. This is just some of the people whom were lost around P. Diddy. All of them were close to P. Diddy. Then you had everybody else who ran away from P. Diddy. From Mace, Shine, The Lox, Faith, Lil' Kim, Cease. Loon ain't coming around no more. G-Dep ain't coming around no more. Come on, man. 112, where they at? Danny B. Kane, where they at? Day 26, where they at? Total, where they at? Ain't nobody coming around no more. Don't matter if they broke, they not coming around. Because when Diddy wanted them on that award show, he got them to the award show. But now he's facing all of these allegations and they stand the hell away. They stand the hell away because some of them have children now. And some of them have children now. And a lot of their children aspire to be like them as artists. As artists. And now, if I was once on Bad Boy, and now I was once on Bad Boy, so I still know Diddy and them, and my child aspires to be an artist, who else would I try to introduce my child to? But the one guy that I worked with who helped develop me, manipulate me. Except now that all of the allegations come out, why would I ever send my child there now? I'm like, I'm not sending my child to him. Because now I remember some of the creepy stuff. I remember some of the creepy stuff that he did around me. So now I started thinking like, wow, so he was trying something the whole time. I was too naive to see it. I'm not going to send my child to somebody like that because I'm going to protect my child the way that I wasn't protected. And that's why a lot of these older artists are not coming to his aid, because they don't want their children to even see that they're supporting someone with such monstrous background like that. They don't want their children to see that. And I could understand that. Because when you have worked around an individual like this, first of all, it's a lot of shame because other artists may have been a victim. Many artists may have been a victim. So they're probably traumatized seeing this right now. And they have started lives with their families. And they don't want nothing to trigger that trauma that they received as a result of being victimized by possibly Diddy or somebody in his camp. You know, it's like how Farnsworth Bentley, he live in Atlanta and he married with a couple children now. He got very, very far away from Diddy. He got very, very far away from Diddy. Farnsworth Bentley. And several people got very far away from Diddy. Several people, they just stopped even making music. Several people just stopped even making music. Their love for music was destroyed in their relationship with P. Diddy. They lost their love of music in their relationship with P. Diddy because something that he did, creepy ways that he showed, caused them to say, you know, I'm not willing to give myself over to this nonsense, lose myself in this nonsense. No. Some people were strong in the beginning and never weakened. They just realized that when the door opened, it was time to get out. And they left. And they didn't make music anymore. They accepted that life wasn't for them. And it was all right. They accepted that it's all right that this life is not for me. My sanity is more important than this life. My freedom is more important than this life. My peace is more important than this life. My family is more important than this life. My overall self-care is more important than this life. So some of them didn't even return to a life of music because they knew that if Diddy was like that, somebody had to teach him to be like that in that industry. And he was well tied in. Only spiders crawl in spider webs. And only snakes crawl through snake holes. So when you see something go down into a snake hole, it's either prey or it's a snake. And prey is just curious. And they end up getting preyed upon. Just like a spider web. Anything in that spider web is a victim or it's a spider. There's no friends in the spider web. There's no friends in the snake hole. It's only prey and a snake. It's only spiders and the prey. So when they talk about these young men and young women in Bad Boy Studios, when they talk about them, they're talking about the prey and the predator. 17-year-old girl said that she was, Jermaine Dupri. That was Puffy's right-hand man too at one point. They was talking about coming up with a record label back in the day. And so now, when you have Bad Boy Records, and people are introduced into Bad Boy Records, however they're introduced, because a fly can innocently fly into a spider web. And once that happens, you become prey. A fly can innocently fly into a spider web and become prey. A rodent can innocently crawl and see a hole in the ground and just tuck his head into that hole innocently and become prey. I'm saying that to say that many people have innocently involved themselves with Bad Boy Records and have become prey. Some of them didn't even know it. Some of them don't even know it. And that's why a lot of people are not coming forward today, because it's just dawning on them now as they playing it back in their mind, saying, wow, he did that to me too. Or, and I'm talking about not the S-A-N and the R, because they know what that is, but I'm talking about some of the soft touches, some of the words of persuasion, some of the manipulation. I can guarantee you that it's past artists right now who are at them at their houses talking to their attorneys in some cases, and they're saying to themselves, he did the same thing to me. You have some women whom he have been involved with who are saying he did the same thing to me that he did to Cassie, that he did to Joy. He did the same thing to me. He did the same thing to me that Aaron Hall and him and the rest of his crew did to me. He did the same thing. Shame. Shame will cause people to tuck their tail and just walk away. Shame will cause some people to tuck their tail and walk away. Yeah, Aaron Hall, you got to look up his interview too. Look up Aaron Hall's interview with Vlad, the very despicable individual. I used to love Aaron Hall music too. He's a very despicable individual, and he's admittedly a creep, period. And he admittedly bragged about engaging in sexual acts while Diddy and the rest of the boys watched. Come on. Some great artists, some innocent little boys and innocent little girls who only wanted to pursue their dreams, who idolized the young artists of the world that rubbed elbows with people like P-Diddy and even Michael Jackson and Jermaine Dupri's, and they admired these brothers and sisters for helping because they watched them bring up young artists like Criss Cross, The Brat, Bow Wow. They watched these young brothers and sisters and the people who mentored to them. They watched them. They watched them with innocent eyes. They watched them with innocent hearts. And they aspired to one day be like those young people who P. Diddy's and Jermaine Dupri's and all these brothers and sisters, Jay-Z. They watched these people help these young men and young women grow up to become superstars. And so the young people of today, they aspire to be in the presence of P. Diddy's and the people like him. They aspire only because they want to pursue their dreams. Some of them are so broken and from neighborhoods that are so broken that they just want a way out. They just want a way out. They want to be able to say that I made it. I made it, Mama. That's all. I made it, Mama. I did this for us. But then that innocent person flying over that spider web got caught up in the spider web. They became prey. That's why Justin Bieber turned to alcohol and drugs. That's why so many other young artists turn to alcohol and drugs. That's why even so many young artists even turn to participating in sex parties because they lost their way when the teacher took them down the wrong road. They was just following the teacher. He took them down the wrong road purposefully to destroy them, dehumanize them, shame them. Like P. Diddy shamed Farnsworth Bentley. Had this grown man walking around with umbrellas. When P. Diddy get out the car, he got an umbrella. P. Diddy walk down the street, he got an umbrella. Every time the song come on, he dancing. P. Diddy humiliated this man every day in the public's eye. Broke him down. And I want anyone within the sound of my voice to go look at this video where YK Osiris was at Drake's house. Oh yeah, by the way, Drake's name come up in this stuff too. His name come up in this stuff too. That's one of P. Diddy's mans too. But I want anybody to go look at that videotape where Drake is telling YK Osiris, you owe me 60,000, man. You owe me 60,000. He said, I want you to sing right here on the spot. Sing right here. He's humiliating him. That's public humiliation. They're on video, so the world can see this. And he's telling him, you owe me $60. He said, I'm not Boosie. I'm not none of them other guys that you owe $6,000 and $7,000 to. You owe me $60,000. I want you to sing right now. Sing for me right now. Now, why? And YK Osiris, he's just laughing. He's a little kid. He's just laughing. Laughed it off and started trying to sing. Then Drake started laughing. This is some despicable stuff. That humiliation, they humiliate them to the extent that they break them down. And then that person is willing to then do anything to stop the humiliation. He's willing to do anything to stop the public humiliation, to stop the humiliation that the public see. So he's possibly willing to go behind the curtains and do something because the public doesn't see it. But to stop it from happening in the public's eye, I will go behind the curtain. And that's what I think is happening in Hollywood, with how they're shaming these young boys and girls. They're shaming them. Remember, if anybody remember P. Diddy's Making the Band, I don't think they really have a lot of those videos available anymore. But this was like 1990s or maybe the 2000s, early 2000s, Making the Band. Yeah, it was a 2000. And they was talking about how P. Diddy made them walk a far distance to go get some cheesecake or something from a bakery. And at the time, a lot of people said, that's the price you pay. When you're a rookie, you got to do those certain things. But now we know that to be, yeah, he made the kids get him cheesecake. But now we know that to be public humiliation. Because when you can humiliate people the way that P. Diddy has humiliated people, you can kind of get them to do a lot of things that you want them to do. You could get people to do what you want them to do by public humiliation. That's bully behavior. That's bully behavior. You stripping a person of who they are in the public's eye so you could fake who you are to the public. You want the public to think that you are this powerful person. And so you commit public humiliation of people. And sometimes the predator tries alpha individuals just to see if they could break them down in the public's eye. Hence the time when P. Diddy asks 50 Cent, can he take him shopping? He asked 50 Cent, can he take him shopping? How many other men do you think P. Diddy took shopping? How many other men do you think P. Diddy took shopping? And when he took them shopping, with the things that we know about P. Diddy now, when he took them shopping, do you think that the shopping spree ended at the mall? The kumbaya ended at the mall? I think drinks was involved. I think a couple hugs was involved. A couple rubs on the shoulder was involved. A couple, let's go to this club was involved. Let's go to this private club was involved. Let's go watch this freak off was involved. And eventually, things escalated because these people in these powerful positions always push people and see how far they can push people. They see how far they can push people. Let's see who this is. See what we got here, y'all. So it's
What's up? How you doing?
I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Well, I just thought you made I wanted to kind of see what direction you're trying to go to with what you're talking about Diddy, because it seems like you're trying to get to a point, but it's taking you a long time to make it.
Well, my point been made. I made my point when I opened up. The question was, when did P. Diddy turn into a monster? And I talked about how he cut into Fabulous, he cut into 50, he cut into so many people, but when he cut into Fabulous, it was different because Fabulous told, when he asked Fabulous, why won't he party with him? And Fabulous looked scared, and Fabulous said, I already did. But I said that Fabulous probably partied with Puffy before Puffy became Diddy. Because when he became Diddy, it was like, that's when that other mentality came into place. So I kind of opened up. You must have missed when I opened up. I kind of opened up with saying what I think when I think that P. Diddy became a monster, you know, and I identified 6 people that has since passed away that was very close to P. Diddy, you know, and that's not to say he had anything to do with him. I'm talking about karma. I'm talking about when you throw a boomerang, it comes right back to you. If you're not ready to catch it, it's going to hit somebody close to you. I use the boomerang in reference to karma. And so now you got 6 people around him whom have passed on. You have no one from his record label, no one, not one artist from his record label over a 30-year period. Not one person has come to his aid and told the public anything good about P. Diddy. No one has came up to say, hey, that's not his character. He wasn't like that with me. No, no one. And I'm telling people that silence kind of speaks for itself. If not, it'll at least speak volumes. So the question again is, when do you think that P. Diddy became a monster? That was my question.
That's a really great question. I saw somebody say in the comments that um, he made them when he made those kids are making the man walk to get his cheesecake, they knew then. I was done with him then.
Me too.
But I heard that Diddy's father was